first of the Breeders' Crown finals, taken out by Stress Factor, winning the Woodland Stud Breeders' Crown Series 20 for the 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings final. Well done, Chris. Terrific performance. Brent Lilly, the winning trainer, and this horse has since come across from New Zealand. He's made it 3 in a row, and he's won the race he's probably come out to win, which was a Breeders' Crown.
Yeah, no, he's done a super job since he's been here, Rob, and you know, credit to the owners for buying him, and he's done, you know, probably as well, if not better than expected.
Tonight, he seemed to trot smoothly. You were able to come out of the gate well, control the race, and it was virtually dictated by you out in the lead.
Yeah, well, he came out nice, and he settled really well tonight in front. He was pricking his ears most of the way, and he did have a really good kick at the top of the straight because he'd relaxed so well.
Well, he's had a fantastic campaign, of course, having come through to this particular series, and he topped it off with the Trotters Derby. It was a terrific performance winning there, and now to finish off with the Breeders' Crown, you really couldn't ask for much more.
No, super job, you know, and very happy for the connections and Brent.
Well done. Good run.
Yeah, no, she's, you know, surprised us. Right from day one, we didn't even think she'd make it to the 2-year-old, and all credit for this must go to Alison, because after stall I said she was going out in the paddock to miss the Redwood and the Breeders' Crown, because I think she'll be okay next year, but she had a couple of days off and she was bucking and kicking. Alison said better bring her back in, so we did, and here we are now.
She's a big girl, very leggy, very athletic, still obviously a lot of filling out to do, but her size and her motor has got her over the line.
Yeah, pretty unreal. You know, we brought her here to the trials. She used to bowl along, really got home, and first trial she got beaten probably 200 and just wouldn't go, and thought, oh, we've made a blue here. But yeah, she just keeps getting better. Talk us through the race. She came out okay. You were able to get a good spot a lap from home. Yeah, she came out okay, but I didn't really want to push her because I don't know that she's ready for that yet. But yeah, I was quite happy just to sit outside the leader and just make it a dash up the straight. But got cover, and then the horse behind the leader couldn't stay there, so we were able to drop in for the trail, which you know, probably helped us. But you know, she still had to be good enough to peel up the leader in a 28, you know, last quarter.
Well done, Mark, and big thrill. I know you've driven these winners before and you've been part of it all, but when you're driving for a young trainer who's establishing himself, to come all the way from Canterbury, New Zealand, to here in Melbourne, Victoria, to win a Breeders' Crown, that's a wonderful feat.
Yeah, too right, and it's really his first serious trip away for Regan. He's done a lot of work under Mark Jones and with Master Lavros, and took him a lot of places, but this is his first trip on his own account, and he's done really well. It's
amazing. Great little story. And raced by Cheryl Rasmussen?
Yes, raced by Cheryl, so I'm sure she'll be tuned in tonight and getting a great thrill.
Yeah, for sure. And what about this horse? You enjoyed a pretty good run, and it was a great finish. So the 4 main chances spread across the track halfway up the straight, and you could see each driver were pretty vigorous and looking at each other and thought, who's going to finish the strongest? And you were the one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I was a bit concerned. Gavin was coming home good there, but she was just lucky enough to hold on. No,
she's been a lovely filly.
She has, yeah, no, and she's probably sort of come into her own probably the last 6 weeks with the Triple Way. She's really thrived and done well, and it sort of made her.
What a great performance. Firstly, by the filly, Princess Tiffany, that was her ninth, a ninth start, 9 wins. Looked to be in a little bit of trouble coming to the home turn, but you asked the big question and she responded, Mark.
Yeah, she did. She was very courageous, and you know, full credit to her. Really, she took quite a bit out of herself with over racing, which surprised me. But you know, down the back, I just let her roll. So we got down the back pretty good, and of course we were both off the bit of the quarter, but it was just a survival of the fittest.
Race plan, did it go the way you expected during the race?
Look, I didn't really worry. I just let her come out on her own, because I just thought if I didn't make the front early, well, I was going to be parked, and I thought, well, you know, I'd rather just have her nice and relaxed if I could.
Tonight, did she have to go to the well the most that she's gone up to now?
Oh, look, she did, but you know, on the clock, she's done exceptionally well.
You've won this race now 3 of the last 4. You took it out with Party On and Dream About Me as well. How do you rate this filly?
She's right up there with the best of them.
I think that gap closed at the start, got pushed back in the running line, took a bit of a brave move to come around and then got shuffled back to where he pretty much started from. And you were probably under a bit of pressure to make a decision whether to go 3 wide. You did it, and it was going to come down whether this horse was going to be tough enough. We've seen him show his speed. He ran a terrific race, I think, in the Australian Pacing Goal when he was beaten. But, wow, what a run, what a win, what a drive, what a relief.
Oh yeah, it's a great relief, that one. There's a lot of pressure going into that race tonight. There's some great horses in it. It probably didn't really go to plan. But as you know, plans don't always go to plan out there.
What about, and I would imagine the plan would have been to try to drop in behind Centenario at the start?
Oh, well, there's a few little plans, we didn't really want to burn him off the arm, because we probably could never have got across Centenario. We tried to get him behind, but, that wasn't there, and then we sort of had to go to plan A, B and C.
You went through a bit of a nightmare, didn't you, in the Vicbred final? You probably came here half expecting that you were the horse to beat, and just things, for whatever reason, just didn't work out that night.
Yeah, no, this horse, they've changed the shadow roll on him now, and it's helped him a lot. We went in confident both nights.
Great horse. Obviously, to be able to produce that stamina and speed tonight was extraordinary.
Yeah, no, that's right. When it comes down to these big races, you just got to believe in the horse a lot, and I believed in him a lot tonight, and he showed me how good he really is.
Had an amazing year, Mark. She can rock, and obviously with your filly and doing what she performed.
Yeah, no, I had a great season this season. I'd like to thank everyone that's gave me the opportunity to drive, and Tamara and Clayton, Bill and Ann. It's a great pleasure to drive these horses.
It's a long way from home, but Australia's a pretty sweet place to be too, Kima.
Yeah, I love it. I just got absolutely no words. I'm just shaking my head, and like I've said before, I'm just so grateful that I get to drive him, and Ake's just done an amazing job with this horse to get him where he is today, and it's just been such a cool ride to be on, and to stand here today and win a Breeders' Crown is just ridiculous.
Well, we've seen your journey, and a lot of people may be tuning in for the first time, finding out about Kima Frenning. But just a quick insight: how long have you been in Australia? Where have you come from?
3.5 years I've been here now, and I wasn't really going to drive at all. My plan was, but that changed, and I'm really happy that it did. I've just got great people around me. They're giving me good opportunities. Dominic's been one of them. Emma and Clayton, Lance Justice, I've just got so many good people behind me, Luke Stokey, and they all just make me look good, really.
Have you got a permanent residency now in Australia?
Oh, not yet, but I'm working on it.
Working on it. Well, we'll have to put in a few good references for you. What a great horse. We saw him perform exceptionally well. He went over to Perth for a little while. I think it probably made the horse. I think he might have got gelded when he came back, and that certainly helped him as well. Took out the Vicbred final. His run here last week was slashing, and having spoken to you last night, you said his work was absolutely phenomenal during the week. You were very upbeat about his chance. He didn't let you down. He destroyed him.
Oh, he sure did, Robin. He's just one of them. He doesn't stop trying, and like you said last week, I was wrapped with him. Even if we got beat, I couldn't be more happy with him, and I just knew the way he's been racing that he was going to keep improving, and he was awesome tonight.
Both Craig and Blake felt that you might press forward from the second row, and that's exactly what you did. And it worked out well because you seemed to get there easily, and then the front was there.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was a little bit surprised that the front was there, actually. I was Colt 31, he's a marvellous horse in front, and so, you can't discredit any of the horses, but, we got there pretty easy, and, we were able to control it, and he done it with ease, this horse.
He's still very lightly raced. That was only his 9th start, 8 wins as a 3-year-old. It's all evolved for him this year.
Yeah, no, that's right. You know, he is only like the race, and every time he goes out, he just keeps getting better and better.
He's a very strong type, big, strong fella, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's a really strong horse. You know, he's very versatile. You know, he has got a lot of high speed, and he's very, very tough.
And tonight, were you surprised the challenges? There wasn't really a lot happening.
Yeah, no, I was a little bit surprised that there wasn't a lot of challenges, but I suppose the tempo was pretty genuine, so I suppose it made it hard for the back markers to get into it.
Chris Alford, 3 Breeders' Crown, Anne and Bill Anderson, a couple as owners, breeders. Of course, Emma Stewart, 3 altogether. Great night, a great filly. Really had to earn her win because she had to run the time. She had horses breathing down her neck all the way through. Mick Stanley's filly, Angel of Arts, never gave up the chase. Angel of Harlem, I thought, was super brave, really trying to make a contest. And this girl had to run, and she had to beat him.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. She took a while to work to the front, but lead time wasn't too bad. But we really got trucking when Mark got outside us, and he kept the speed on us. His filly was really strong and brave, but yeah, Maggie just kept sticking her head out and didn't want to lose.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was it you dictating the tempo? It was more him just applying that little bit of extra pressure?
Oh, he just wanted to keep the speed rolling, and as he said, his horse was strong, and it just kept trucking along. But thankfully, she was nice and relaxed, and even though he was pressuring her, she was doing it quite comfortably.
Great filly. She's shown to really not only have the speed, but to be tough, and she runs the times.
Yeah, she's had an amazing season, really. You know, winning the Vic Bred, and an unlucky second in the Oaks as well. So can't ask much more.
If the night wasn't already great, only just got a little bit better again.
Yeah, no, it sure did. You know, this is a night to remember for sure. You know, it's great to come out on these nights and be very successful.
Well, you've had some enormous success, with your horses and so on. But to win 3 races on such an amazing night, it would be a career pinnacle for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is for sure. It's the biggest highlight of my whole career that I've been driving. On a night like this, to be able to drive 3 winners.
Amazing mare. She's done a fantastic job. Watched her all the way through her career. She's been one that has just kept getting better each time.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, every time she steps out, she always puts a good foot forward. You know, she's never really run a bad race in her life. You know, every time she goes out, she just keeps getting a little bit better.
A little bit of fireworks early. You sort of sat there, waited for the dust to settle, and sort of pushed forward to find the lead.
Yeah, no, that's right. You know, it was sort of a little bit of a tricky one whether we were going to find the front or whether we would have had to sit park. But, I sort of didn't want to get into a speed war early for sort of no reason. And, was happy to sit there and just let her work her way forward.
Jeff Webster and Greg Norman, not like old days, Jeff. Bring back the South Australian flag.
Yeah, it'd be a long time since the Webster-Norman combination was together. But, when Greg asked to drive the filly, I knew she goes pretty nice. So had to get it right eventually. We didn't have any luck last week.
No, she looked like you had plenty of horse underneath for last week. Didn't have a lot of luck tonight. Got the nice draw, able to lead and pretty much control it from there.
Yeah, no, she got an easy lead time, and first quarter wasn't special. So then she dashed up, really nice.
And Greg's been a Norman Webster family, been an amazing 2 dynasties of some great family members. And I know Greg, having lost his father only recently, pretty sad time for the Norman family, but such respected people, and Greg does a great job.
Yeah, no, it goes back, probably 50 or 60 years, back in the old Oval days when South Australia was sort of leading the country in a lot of ways, and Dick Webster and Reg Norman would go around the country and just dominate. So it's just good to keep the old tradition going.
Vincent shoots clear now. Is this a star on the rise? Vincent brains them. Vincent by 15. How big was that, Vincent? That was outstanding.
Heaven Rock's Titan better. It's an all-stars show in the Auckland Cup, and Vincent too good.